Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Midnight Brands coming to you with prep for Thursday, April 13th, 2023. And going to go ahead and keep today a little bit quiet and focus just trying to get some of the levels and stuff ready up here for you, and then walk through things. If folks have questions along the way, pipe them in, and we'll do our best to pick up, notice, recognize, etc. But probably going to try to just walk through and get the stuff highlighted, and then we'll just highlight the pieces maybe towards the end here. But yeah, that's going to be it. was the econ again today. Econ was weekly jobless claims, continuing claims, PPI. Yeah. There's a bunch of stuff at 7:30.
What the fuck am I even marking? This would be full ADRs are up at 80s. This would be a $6 move.
Okay, I'm gonna try to fly through these and just share my quick thoughts on these. So we'll start off with SVXY. I'm gonna put it into light shot here so I can talk and grab at the same time. So I'm gonna get my right daily chart and my right symmetrical extreme chart. So unlikely, but still within the range of possibilities. Interesting div area there with the full ADR weekly photo, and then you also have your tier one end of week cheat, which lines up amazingly with the weekly photo ADR in today's full. So that's SVXY and kind of the way I see that one. Pretty straightforward, as you can see on it. On VIX, on VIX, the thing I don't like there is the div level right next to this daily trend guide. It is there. I mean, it's possible we just come up right to the top edge of this zone and reverse off of it. It's also entirely possible that the 20-day keeps falling and coming in there, but like this has been really kind of an interesting thing here with VIX just staying right inside of this box for the last while here. Right? I mean, so that's been what? Since the 29th? Alright, something's gonna give there. It's not too bad though in general though on VIX. I'd say I don't like, I mean there's so many zones, they're just right back on top of each other. You know, if I were to adjust some things, maybe I would just say, and see, I like that daily cheat there because it would set a lower low, get everybody to be really excited, and reverse right off of that, and not go down and touch the bottom. I just applying the man weekly trend guide and stuff there. So I kind of like it. It is a bit wider because it's going up to also grab the tier 1 OPEX, which, you know, we've barely had any bars closed below. We've had a couple, but I mean, not of any great significance. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to change anything else here with VIX. I'm just going to leave it as is and move on. That's interesting. If we do go down there, the 52-week low is right there with the weekly photo ADR. Of course, I adjusted things there, but hey. VIX, and then let's pull up SPY again. Alright, so SPY. It's actually pretty clean there. Interesting reject, like we talked about yesterday, like we said, like we've just been barely poking above this range box, can't really get above it at all, and came right up yesterday to that 411. Yeah, 411 80 73 ish, and rejected really big time off of it. So I didn't mark this 50. I expect that 50 will actually keep rising and would come up and join this quarterly pivot zone. And this one here, you know, I guess you could actually take that up a little bit. You could potentially even treat this as two zones here, with the look right there, and then the TG2 just right beneath it. Yeah, and then you do have kind of the inside zone here if you want to mark and watch it with falling swing anchor VWAP, trend strength reference point, and with the fact that the trend guides did flip yesterday, that could be a clue. In fact, we can mark it just for that reason there alone. Is, you know, you could come down and just hit this, and I mean, we're coming up into it now, so you know, certainly a possibility to do something like that. So that is our lovely friend SPY. And we'll move up here for 1 second to grab that picture of it, and we will call SPY there. Nice stop though off of the 10-day and daily anchor view off there yesterday. I mean, it held really nicely there. Obviously the swing anchor VWAP too, but really interesting about where that stopped with everything for sure. It's also really interesting here, this weekly photo ADR is right there on that really small range on that weekly photo. We're liking that we're keeping track of that there. All right, we combined these two into one. And then obviously did not include I actually kind of rolled it up to pull it into there, so I'll just note that real quick here. Bless you too, Ziggy. Okay, and then we'll move to the cues. So cues. Okay, so cues are super clean to my eyes there. So above we've got the photo ADRs. In fact, I missed marking one here. We'll really treat it more as a div. I'm not going to change it to redraw that, but and I'm going to leave it up a little bit wider there because if we do actually gap like this, it's not much of a gap, of course, but if we do, then full ADRs would definitely move up there. Keep in mind there's a crap load of data at 7:30 Central, so just something to keep in mind. Also, similar, just like we talked about before on SPY, we will go ahead and mark this reluctantly, this inside zone here with trend strength, especially just with where we're setting up. Maybe we get a pop here this morning coming into the in the news, tag the swing anchor VWAP, you know, come down, grab trend guide. I suck at doing path mapping, so I'm not going to project too much there. Do really kind of have a div here in the middle with the 20-day there. I mean, I guess you could take and make this trend guide reversal zone wider and take it up there like that. So in general, still is pretty clean. Fail that, below you've got your tier 1 week cheats, weekly photo ADR, monthly pivots, tier 1 daily cheats, weekly trend guide 2, a nice swing anchor VWAP, which should line up with the daily from, looks like March 10th. And so, yeah, that's that'll be it for the cues. It definitely has cooled off big time, and what and how it's mapping against that symmetrical extreme. Oops. Yep. All right, let's look at the futures here. Alright, so here we've got ES, so, and let's drag this down a little bit. I'm probably showing way too much detail here. So even with all that yesterday, we still only had 65, 64-ish points. So still a pretty calm and tame day, all things considered. So if we got to really go in here today with PPI and jobless claims, etc., the big upside zone would be way the heck up here at the 4230-ish level, which has got your weekly trend guide reversal 3, gap fill, supply and demand high, and then beneath, I have to double check that. I just haven't had time. We focused on other work on the automatically trying to find these key areas on the profile for point of control and whatnot. So I don't trust this gap fill piece saying that it's there. There is definitely, though, the tier 1 end of week cheat and the tier 1 OPEX cheat, which is next Friday's expiration at the bottom edge of supply and demand. Beneath, you got a nice little upper edge of supply and demand and weekly trend guide reversal 2. We'll drag this down actually just a touch. I'm not going to care about the low volume node there, but I am going to care about the naked value area there, which maps back to, probably won't be able to see, no, maps back quite a ways there. If it's going back to 4200, then my guess, it'd probably be one of the naked VAs from back here in August. Anywho, underneath, you got a nice little full ADR there, top yesterday's highs. Excuse me. And this 4170, 4180 area that we just don't want to get a close above. We've had one, and we don't want to get above there at all. So, yeah, you can see that's where we adjusted this, our upper edge supply and demand a few weeks ago. Is like, we don't even really want to get a close above this 4160-ish level, right? Like, so, anywho, so you got that weekly trend guide. You have the weekly IB stat there, because we did actually come up and tag that there at about 8:30 or so, I guess, yesterday. Gap fill there, so good amount of structural pieces right here. It's also the 10-day high value area node in there. Beneath, we end up getting, and we'll take this, yeah, but it's yesterday's NV box, so I guess you watch it. Maybe we do go up there, tag it, and reverse, so. And let's actually drag this down then here a little bit. Okay, so I was doing that so that we had captured the swing anchor VWAP, but that'll keep falling here as we move along with price and time. So you get your trend guide there. Again, you've got your point of control from yesterday and VPOC, and then your tier 1 daily cheat right there. And then beneath, we've got that swing A VWAP from the highs off of the CPI print, trend strength, and 10-day and last week's point of controls right there that we've been rejecting overnight, which is also obviously trend strength reference point. Guides did flip yesterday, and so that could signal something along those lines here. If I could actually draw on the screen. nowhere close to a 50% retrace, but and I would put it right down at this bigger zone down there at the 4060s. So definitely one to watch. Lower down here, we got a little bit of a wider zone with the what you got there: trend guide reversal, weekly photo ADRs, trend guide, the weekly IV stat low, and dragged this down to include top edge supply demand, which is also the tier 1 day cheat, and we've got a swing A VWAP coming up from March 24th, and there's also a daily anchor VWAP, and you can see there's the trend line obviously right there on the daily. It is interesting to notice that before about kind of how it's holding the 10-day, so kind of a fast Momo type of view there. In any event, we fail that, we've got the 20 days already moving up. So it's probably going to come up and join this zone here based upon how things are moving today, I would guess already. 4081. Yeah, so it's moving. It was, you know, over still in the 4078s or stuff when I started looking this morning. I'm gonna look at something that somebody just sent me real quick. Underneath, and this moved up there just a little bit, is the full ADRs. It's there. I'm just not going to draw my zone up to include that in the reason. Call it stupid, call it whatever. I'm not going to do that because I know if I do, then I'll put more weight in it than I should. It's an area to start being ready for and paying attention to, but like you're so damn close to the weekly trend guide too, so I mean, hell, if you come down there and tag full ADR to the tick and reverse off of it, you know, sucks. Watch, hopefully you get a reprint and you can get it there, but I would be watching more for that hit down just like 2 points lower or something. Of course, if we do move up more, full ADR will guide itself up into that div area there, which was the 20-day EMA and the daily anchor VWAP in gap fills there. But like I said, that 20 days already moving up. In any event, we blow through that, then we're going to come down even further and attack this zone, which has got the 50 already moving up on it. It also has the daily anchored VWAP and swinging from March 15th. So there's March 10th, and then you get the 15th reprint right there off of that one. So, in any event, that is ES going to mark it there. I'm just going to note that alright, so that is ES. Let's look at NQ. Alright, so NQ was relatively clean as well, kind of like the Qs. I do like here on the daily how we definitely have popped out of this channel, which is obvious. We can pretty easily delete this now and get crap off of our charts. And we've really kind of taken that out there, but we still can't get above the August highs. So not the greatest sign in the world on that front, but we're right there at that 20, which is down here at this div level here, which is also the weekly IB stat. It's been the range that we've been in forever. It really is kind of an interesting div there with all the pieces of evidence. Above that, though, is this block here that I highlighted with the longer rectangle, and you can see even going back further, right? It's been filling out kind of this low volume node on the last weekend, the 10-day. Through here, it's really just been wicks, and now we're getting some overnight action against it, and it's also weekly trend guide, or WS1 there. So interesting on that, and not surprising, I guess you should say, the fact that we came up and tagged that inside div-ish area that we noted. Not blue, but orange. So we tagged trend strength and have reversed pretty solidly off of it there. An event down below, you've got your trend guide reversal, tier 1 daily cheat, weekly photo ADR, and VPOC is right there beneath that weekly photo ADR. And then we've got this historical structure at 12, 890, 878-ish level, it looks like. So, anywho, above, don't want to forget about those. You got your trend guides, top edge of this falling trend line. Skipped above there, we end up with our weekly pivot, 10-day high volume node, and tier 2 daily chi, as well as the weekly IB stat high. And of course we could keep going further, which we end up with full ADRs last week, and 10-day rolling 10-day point of control up there with possible 2 divs there at there's really just a bunch of kind of possible divs up at this area here in my mind. Did note also, if we do decide to keep falling here and reversing, I mean, I guess you could we could make the case here for something like this. Coming down and driving into that weekly photo ADR and stuff there. So, but it obviously cooled off back to a fresh zero by tagging the 20-day there yesterday. So let's see what it does here in this area here, and does it go in and grab the 20-day again and close off the NVPOC from, oh, what's that, March 29th, or do we start to dig deeper? So, remember, big econ here in about half an hour. And we're at what, 12? So call it 1300. So like we take out this full ADR, I mean, just to keep ourselves honest here on the upside, like we take out that full ADR stuff, and then TGR, weekly photo ADR, becomes a real possibility here. So just to not lose ourselves on the upside there. Okay, RTY, I'm gonna just flip through these. Oops, I guess I didn't click on RTY, I guess I clicked on YM. So we will look at YM first, and then go look at RTY. So didn't even get a bar above, a close above that trend line here from the highs back in December, with a touch there back in early February, mid-February, I guess that is. So actually not a bad stuff there on YM. I'm just going to mark it right from there. It's really kind of pretty straightforward. We're not marking those really far upside zones though. We'll call out, we added this one here, so you've got the top edge of supply and demand, the tier 1 sheet, the gap fill, 10-day low volume node, but the tier 1 sheet, yeah. So I mean, we noted this is an upside zone there too. So trend strength we're failing from. I feel like somebody's punking me with the way this is looking right this second. I guess not. There are a couple other things in here you could do. Like you could say, well, hey, let's mark off this TGR3 with these gap fills and stuff like that. But I mean, look, folks, really the full ADRs is right there, so that's probably about as much you're gonna get. You could really get moving, I guess, and come down and grab the weekly fulls and stuff, but I mean, we're way outside of zones and stuff here now at that point. So alright, now let's actually click on RTY and look at it real quick. Okay, so RTY. Trying to hold those daily anchored VWAPs. Yeah, let's zoom this out just a touch. Alright, and we'll take that. So good upside zone there would be really pushing things. given where other stuff is at, because you've got your full ADRs right there. And look, on these, like, we have the gap fill and VPOC and stuff here, but these are yesterday, so I mean, they're there. I don't put as much weight on them as I would something from, you know, many days ago or whatnot. So, and these, so I'm not attaching any weighting right now to the low value areas or to the high volume nodes. I'm really just attaching a weighting to the point of control. So that's why the full ADRs wasn't even picked up as a zone. And it's decent enough away from the weekly IV stat. But anyways, that's RTY. Okay, and let's take a look here quickly enough at GC. Actually, first let's look at CL, even though it'll probably mess up the charts. Make Ninja go super slow again. Okay, so I'm not going to go as high as it did on some of these, and I'm just going to mark it here because it was pretty straightforward. Really nice reject yesterday off of the daily anchored VWAP, 30-week SMA. Although that's not the right thing, that was RTY, but definitely good to note and how it rejected there yesterday. CL did reject though. I knew it rejected. It rejected though off of its daily anchored VWAP from back in June, and it is starting to push back up and into its symmetrical extreme there. Really light, nothing I would write home about. So my focus there would be that kind of bigger upside zone. This one here, this is a big zone if we could actually go and grab it. And I could focus and be around to see it hit this one. That'd be a really nice one with the 200 day there. Just ticked it yesterday against the June daily anchor VWAP right there. Right now we're struggling to get above this WTGR2 gap fill area. I'm going to mark and note that, and did also briefly note this trend strength one there with just how strong crude has been. It's been a launching point here recently. One thing it didn't note here is you could actually and probably should watch for this like that is come down and grab the lower edge there and tag that gap fill. And this really is a must hold. If we don't hold this this block here, then we're set up to, because that's this area here. So you really need to hold that, otherwise you got that big ass range gap there. So Well, I guess you could pit stop there at the weekly Trend Guide 3 and Swing AV WAP. But that is CL. And then last we'll hit is going to be GC. Alright, so pushing really good against its trend guide reversal for the day and poking its head back above last week's point of control. 10-day point of control is kind of where it's at already here. So it's got this big zone up there at the 2068, 2070, 2068. I don't remember when it was to be candidate, but it was back in like 2018, 2015. Like there's a really big high way back here in this area here. It's also why it's a bit wider because of that. We marked up and included this zone here because it comes back and grabs the highs here from probably April 3rd, April 4th, something like that, as well as the tier 1 daily cheat and last week's high value area. We also marked inside here, so you've got the overnight session piece where we came down, tested the lower edge, tagged the swing anchored VWAP from April 12th, and yeah. We'll just note these other two down here. And full ADR move, so actually let's just get rid of that because that's no longer a zone here in my mind. Because that moved up $6, $7 from when we started looking at this stuff a while ago. In any event, that is GC. And hopefully that was helpful. We'll see if that style worked well, didn't work well, whatever else. We definitely needed it. It was way too late of a night trying to work on some of the point of control pieces. I think actually we may have found a bug with the way Ninja calculates some of these things, so we're gonna have to double track that down and verify with them. So. Hope everybody's had a good week so far, and we will catch y'all tomorrow. Have a good one.